Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Duncan McCollum coming to you live from KSCO, and I am very happy to be here today. What a beautiful day to be in Santa Cruz. What a beautiful day to be at KSCO, this amazing radio station. How many people are out there listening to AM radio? Not enough. It's such a easy, free way to get tuned in and hopefully get some really good information and get your mind stimulated and stay up on current events. My whole focus of the show, McCollum Wellness Radio, is to give you health tips or thoughts that might help you make better decisions health-wise. Right now is a time that we're right on the pivotal edge of making huge changes health-wise. We've come up, at least I have, from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, all the way up to 2026 now, with a certain, I just say dogmatic viewpoints on health and food. We pretty much, the young ones in my age, we grew up watching radio commercials where it talked about Wonder Bread that helped build strong bodies and 12 ways, PF flyers that made you jump your fastest or highest and run your fastest, um, tell Nuprin where the pain is, all of these things that, even though when at the face value, we know it's not real, maybe as a kid you didn't. However, those jingles put us in as customers, and over years and years and years, we now find that a lot of the stuff that has been fed to us, hand fed to us through media predominantly, is being primary responsibility for our demise. Our health is, you might think that the United States is healthy. We're not. In fact, if you know about the Norwegian soccer team, they brought tons of food, literally thousands of pounds of food with them from Norway. They would not eat American food because they knew that the additives, we have something like 10,000 additives in our foods, where on the other side of the pond, it's like 300 to 600 additives. So it's kind of interesting how one side of the world, of the Western world, evolved a certain way, and then the United States evolved another way. And a lot of it has to do with of course, everything has to do with money and industry. And I think we're getting to a point where it's really important that we actually look at the intention behind the sale. What is the intention behind having foods that look perfect and these cereals that have incredible colors to them that are actually poisonous? They cause increase in things like ADHD, asthmas, allergies. They weaken your immune system, and we just consume them with blind intent. We don't understand. We feed this to our kids, and we wonder why so many of our kids have conditions that are, related to ADHD or autism and various other things. Now, there's a big subject there, and the new powers in the healthcare industry are trying to put the gavel down and say that's enough. We're changing the way this is working because I was thinking about this several years ago. It's like if one out of 33 kids, especially boys in the United States, are autistic, and 50% of us have autoimmune diseases, then if we're sick and infirmed, who's going to take care of us? The other 50%. So it's developed into this um, movement where half of us are going to be sick, which means the other half are going to have to take care of us. So they totally handcuff us in our lives so that because none of us are going to be able to afford to put everybody in healthcare. I mean, look at our healthcare industry. It is so expensive, and you can't ever get in to see anybody. And if you do, you might get them on, um, telephone. You might do a teleconference. So nobody's looking at you in your eyes, shaking your hand when they meet you, sitting down across from you and listening to you personally. And I think that that's so important. When I sit and meet with patients, I interview and do consultation with everybody that comes into my office as long as I'm in town. Sometimes I'm not, but I definitely will meet you on my next visit. And we sit down and talk and go, what is it that's going on with you? What made you decide to make a difference today? What I find is most people have been suffering for a few weeks or years. I had somebody come in Friday, 20 years of low back pain, just putting up with it, didn't want to take medication. So, and some people do. They take painkillers or various anti-inflammatories, whether they're over the counter or prescription. But I often hear that they don't want to take it. It's messing up their gut or their memory or other parts of their health, like their liver, which means everything. And or it's affecting their brain. Brain fog comes from some of those poisons that you're putting in your body every day. So the the song "Hooked on You" by Lionel Richie, I'm hooked on you, right? And it's a great song. I recommend that you listen to it. But think of yourself. This is you, your life, your chance, your ability to really enjoy yourself or not. And so many people are putting up with being under the circumstances of ill health, low finances, no health insurance, not sure what to do. So they're under the circumstances. And I wish I knew who said this first, but what the hell are you doing under the circumstances? Get out from under them and make your life yours. Be hooked on you for once and don't take no for an answer. Just decide you are going to do something today that's going to make your life better. Great, be grateful. I have my bottle of gratitude here. They're at my office. Come get them. I have bottles of gratitude, 100% pure organic gratitude, vitamin G, and it's you can come pick it up. It says, "Don't keep out of reach of children." Did you see what went on in Southern California on the beach where thousands of kids went and just destroyed it? Where's their gratitude? These kids are so spoiled. They just don't know what reality is. They don't know what it's like to live in a third world country. However, they're turning our world and our country into one by their actions. Where's the respect? You know? But that is a symptom. That's, not necessarily their fault. It's a symptom of a much bigger issue. And it can be parenting, it could be the school system, it can be the government oversight, but it's all under one big umbrella, and that is be hooked on you. Your health is the only thing that you have that's going to get you through this life, get you through the life to the end. And we all are going to go to the end one of these days, but the question is, how do you want to do that? What is it that you want to achieve in your life still? And, I would say if you look on your right or left shoulder, and if you've got a chip on your shoulder, or you got an excuse on your shoulder, or a reason, or, a misunderstanding or a prejudice, knock it off. Knock those off and just go, this is the first day of the rest of my life. I can do whatever I want and come blank or hell water, or high water, I'm going to do it and write one thing down. One thing down. I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to, call my family member I haven't talked to in quite a while. Repair a friendship with an old family member or a friend. Maybe when you make that call to them, it's going to be the best thing that's happened to them in a long time. You never know how far reaching a small act of kindness may go. So I implore you to do something to make your life better. And the best way to do that, make somebody else's life better. So if you're out and about today on this beautiful day in Santa Cruz or anywhere you're listening at the end of this photograph needle or however that went on that record, then what are you going to do? Go out and say hello to somebody, compliment somebody on something. Sometimes it's hard to find something to compliment them on, but don't go, hey, how's your day going? they're not going to tell you the truth. And if they're doing great, they'll tell you the truth. But if not, they're going to say they are, and it's going to make them more miserable. So spare them this. So, um, one of the things that, as we see the World Cup coming into its final times, we've seen, I don't know how many different countries represented here in the United States being exposed to what we are and who we are. And I've listened to a lot of comments over the airways of other country citizens going, I had no idea that the United States was like this. It's so beautiful. It's so vast. The people are so friendly. The amount of food that you have in the stores in general, everything is so amazing compared to what we have in our home country. I am blown away because I had no idea the United States was this way. We always listen to the media. Isn't that interesting? The media in other countries would paint us to be so bad. And there's a lot of media in this country that would paint us to be so bad. But we are a free country and we have the ability to be, period. And I wish that everybody in this country could go take a trip to one of the national parks and respect it, or drive across some beautiful area. Wake up seeing the sun rising on the ocean or rising on the mountains, and get out of your head. Just get out of your head. Your mind is a dangerous thing and it's going to screw you over. And it probably already has all of us to some degree, some a lot worse. What fight are you fighting and for who? And do you really know the cause? Do you really know who you're fighting for? Have you looked into it, or is it trendy? You know, maybe just inspect it. Truly, in a new period of time, inspect what you're fighting for. Now, I'm not talking about all the protesters in the country, although that would be good. I'm talking about you and me. What is it that we wake up? What is our goal? What is it that we're trying to do? Where are we trying to go? Do we have any idea, any focus? What's limiting us? Is it our health, our ability to move, the food we eat, finances? There's more money in this world than you could ever imagine. And I'm not the expert on this, but I've seen so many people go, money's there, you just have to learn how to get it. Believe me, there's a lot of people coming into this country and getting money without working very hard. That's not the way to do it. You just need to go, I want some of that. What exchange can I put in so that I can enjoy the American lifestyle? And more people, more non-citizens are coming over here legally or illegal to attain this incredible American lifestyle we have. And a lot of them, and I'll just say the ones that are legal, I don't know about the illegal ones, but the legal ones, they're probably doing a lot better than a large portion of our citizenship because they're here for the dream. We grew up taking the dream for granted, and have we don't have to work very hard. Here we are. I mean, we don't work. Maybe we have to, we just don't. Here we are in Santa Cruz, right? Or me, I live in Santa Cruz. It never gets above 85 degrees. It never gets below 55 degrees for the most part. Maybe you're inside, but we don't have to struggle the weather. We just live in this beautiful place. We live in the salad bowl of the United States. We have more organic food grown here than anywhere in the world, really. Now, there's a lot of it that's got a lot of bad stuff on it. But we do have the farmers markets. We have so many ways to go get organic, healthy food. We can ride our bike there and walk around in the beautiful sunshine and pick up different types of vegetables. And if you do, buy them from different vendors, because if you buy it from the same vendor, you're getting the same microbiome in that soil. Now, this is a pretty interesting thing. So if you buy it from a different farmer, you're going to get a whole new set of microbiome. That microbiome is in the soil, breaking down the minerals and vitamins so the plant can survive. It can't survive without the microbiome. A lot of the toxins that the farmers are putting into the soil kill the microbiome, which is, like the Fleming brothers, when they discovered the microscope and they looked through that first microscope and saw something wiggling in the water, they went, "Oh my God, we're being invaded." And they started a war on microorganisms. Well, those microorganisms work together with us to keep us healthy and alive. So, we've been trying to kill them forever, and thank God we haven't because we're still here. But we need that ecosystem in order to survive. So, but when you shop in a store, I mean, there's some great organic food stores around here, and you're buying the lettuce that comes from a very large, probably the largest organic farming company, privately owned in the United States, is right here in Watsonville. And you know who I'm talking about it. Um, and so you don't know that you're getting lettuce grown from different fields. You're cutting out that knowingness of I'm getting this microbiome or that microbiome, but you're still getting something that's organic. Now we know that there's still a lot of different things sprayed on organic that is allowed organic. I think 24 or 48 known substances that they're able to put on organic quote unquote foods, but it's a lot better than the alternative. So if your body is the thing that's holding you back from achieving your goals, do something about your body. If your mind is the thing that's holding you back from doing things and making and achieving your goals, do something about the way you think. There's techniques out there. I talked about one last week. You can ask me about it. So you have the mind, you have chemistry, which I've just talked about, which is all the poisons put on the food, but also all the nutrients that you need to create a healthy body. And then there's the nervous system, which controls every cell in your body. You have 75 trillion cells being fed by 31 pairs of nerves. So you have 31 pairs of nerves coming out of your spine that go to 75 trillion cells. So one nerve goes to over a trillion cells. If that nerve's being stepped on, pinched, or cut, nothing's going to work. Or if it's not cut, then it's just not going to work very well. I don't care how many times you screw in a new light bulb to that lamp. If the wire's cut, that light is not going to work. I don't care how many times you exercise that muscle. If you've got a pinched nerve in your back, that muscle is not going to grow. I don't care how many aspirin you take or other kind of pain meds you take to get rid of that sciatic pain. If that pain is being pinched in your back, there's no way that that aspirin is going to fix a problem. It's going to mask it. And this is the one good example of this is if you have a cavity and you have a toothache, my grandma used to put a clove on between my cheek and gum and a clove, one of those smelly things, and that would numb my mouth and it would numb the area and kill the nerve pain. And then that'd be great. Then the nerve might calm down a little bit, but guess what? It would come back with a vengeance. And if I didn't take care of it in time, which I didn't because I was kind of a dumb kid, I would end up with terrible nerve pain and terrible teeth, which I did. And talk about an interesting thing about how we learn in life and what decisions we make, because everything's a decision. Everything you do, Drew Johnston talked about this last week. Everything starts with a decision. So I was sitting on the couch. I was about 5 or 6 years old at our old house in Berkeley in the TV room with grandma. My grandma was born in 1892. She cooked everything in the world. She was pretty amazing nurse helping us stay healthy. I was sitting on her lap or cuddled next to her. My mom walked by about 7 o'clock and said, "Okay, Duncan, time for bed. Go brush your teeth." I go, "I want to stay here with grandma." "No, go brush your teeth and get in bed." About that time, my grandma takes her false teeth out of a glass and or out of her mouth and puts it in a glass of water next to me. I looked at that and went, "What? Wow, that's a great way not to have to brush my teeth." Literally, I made a decision right then. If I don't brush my teeth are going to fall out, then I won't have to brush them like grandma. How cool is that? That was a decision I made. Unbeknownst to me, that decision stayed with me till I was about 20 years old, maybe 27, actually, probably about then. So I just kind of went on with this idea that my teeth were going to rot and fall out, and that was a good thing. And I was going to do everything unconsciously to make that happen. And I almost lost all my teeth. Thank God I caught them in time, and I worked with Dr. Dave Biles in town and some other people for natural dentistry, and I have all my teeth minus one. But they're all working. But that my point is, I made that decision, and it nearly cost me all my teeth. And I made it as a young person. How many decisions did you make as a younger person? Obviously here you are today at whatever age you are. That's the present. Whatever you decide to do is going to be in the future, even if it's a second from now or 5 years from now. Anything that you've done is the past, and you can't change what happened, but you can change your decisions. And that's the most revealing understanding. You've got to first understand where they came from. And there's a lot of techniques for that. Again, ask me if you want some help. But you need to make a new, even if you can't do that, if you make a big enough decision right now and you make that decision so strong and you keep repeating that decision over and over and over again, you can overcome anything from the past. And the simple phrase is what you think about, you talk about, what you talk about, you bring about. So think good, talk loud to yourself, and act. Because if you know something, if you know a subject, and you know how the subject works, and you do the things to make it work, you can never be the adverse effect of that subject. If you want to master anything, if you want to master health, if you want to get a healthy body, you can't do it by not understanding how your body works to some degree. You put it in the hands of Western medicine. Well, we're rated 47th in the world for health. How's that working for you? Maybe well, maybe not. Usually it's the outliers that are healthy. The ones that are right in the mainstream of everything that social media told them, what TV told them, they're the ones with diabetes. 60% of us in this country are diabetic or pre-diabetic. 30 million of us have thyroid disorder. 25 million of us have advanced peripheral neuropathy, which means probably another 50 or 60% don't know it, but they have the symptoms of it beginning. And they wait until they fall off the cliff before they do anything about it. I have a poster on the wall of my consult room, and many times I come in and person looks and points to it and goes, "That was me." And I look up at there's 6 words. I thought it would go away. I thought it would go away. Well, that's what I thought at first, but it didn't go away. Now it owns me, and now I'm suffering from it, and I don't think I'll ever be the same. And guess what? I don't even like my life anymore because I wake up to live in pain, or I wake up to live in this infirmary, or I wake up to live in this lifestyle I've created for myself because of decisions I made in the past. A lot of people I know didn't go to school. A lot of the people that didn't go to school are wealthier than the ones that did. A lot of people went to school, and they may or may not be wealthier than the ones that didn't. The decision is one thing, but what you do is another. So you can succeed right now and do anything you want to do in your life. When I was in chiropractic school, and I'm 70. So when I was in chiropractic school, one guy was 33 when I graduated. The one guy was 56 years old when he started chiropractic school. He just decided this is what I want to do with my life. You got to find something that you're passionate about. And if your body hurts and your mind's foggy and you're addicted to things, you're not going to be able to be passionate except for your body hurting. And I feel for you because that's why I'm in business to help people overcome that type of thing so that they can maybe go enjoy their life. If you have peripheral neuropathy that's destroying your ability to get around, come see me. $99 will do a evaluation to see whether I can help you, and including a soft wave and a laser treatment. So we heal that predominant, can't use the word heal. We help that predominantly with sound and light. Huh? We heal people, can't use that word. We help people with sound and light. So the stem cell machine is a natural sound. It's similar to a sonic boom or a thunderclap. That's the sound that comes out of the sound waves machine. And that is a natural sound and it penetrates healthy tissue, but it bumps into unhealthy tissue and stimulates a response in the brain to go fix this new injury. It doesn't create an injury, but it tells the body this isn't working. Something ain't right in Dallas. Go fix it. So we have the sound, with sound, and then light, simply lasers, which are they turn on the cell, the mitochondria of the cell, the power plant or the carburetor of your cell. Mitochondria ignites when hit with three lasers, red, green, and violet. And we have those. So we do sound and light to help people with many of their problems. Now and that changes the chemistry in the body. It changes the flow of potassium and sodium in and out of the cells, sound and light. It draws your own stem cells to the area. It pushes out bad inflammation and brings in good, new, healthy fluids filled up with nutrients, white blood cells to eat up the bad stuff, and stem cells to make new good stuff. And that's simple. Sound and light. Who knew? Tricor. It's like bones on Star Trek. And you're better. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if I can help you till you come in. That's why we do these really good specials. $37 for a complete set of digital x-rays, including a follow-up. You know, no other obligation than that. We're not going to say we're going to heal you because we're not going to, that doesn't include a treatment, just an evaluation. Yeah, you got this wrong and this wrong. If we get the pressure off the nerves, the body's going to do what it knows how to do, and that's heal itself. I don't heal anybody, never have, never will. All I do is take away the pressure, the bad communication in your body so your body can do what it's been doing since eons, and that is heal itself. The first amoeba on the planet, a single-celled organism, started being washed up against the sand, and it kept bumping against the sand, and it decided it needed a cell wall to protect itself. Then, a few of them grew together and made a colony. And the next thing you know, that colony is starting to develop a skin and a heart and lungs and a central organization system, and then a skeleton, and then getting up on land. And, you know, believing in God is, not contraindicated to the fact that species develop on this continent, and they evolve for pro survival. Everything is designed on this planet to survive. The human mind wants to survive. In fact, your human mind is especially in Homo sapiens, the most brilliant calculator ever invented. It solves every single problem you ever give it, it solves 100% perfectly. The only variable is the information you give it. If you give it bad information, it's going to solve the problem and probably come up with a bad solution, but it solved your problem. Gee, I'm hungry and there's a store and I don't have any money. I got a rock. I'm going to break the window and go in and get some food. Well, you solved the problem. You got food. Bad decision, bad information. How'd that work out for you or the people that you violated along the way? So, that's the subject of your goals and your ethics level, you know? So the two rules of happy living is never do unto others which you don't want done to you. Be willing to experience anything. And, don't do to somebody else what you yourself wouldn't want to experience. Wow, is that going on in this world much or not? It's just simple survival. And then, you got to look out for the people that are going to try to harm you. And if you take reasonable precautions, you're going to probably do okay. Now, let me talk about that and expound on that a little bit. Reasonable precautions. Look out for the people that are trying to do you harm. We established earlier, or I stated, that the Western Pharmacological Organization and the Food and Drug Administration have built a huge system designed to, I'll give you a multiple choice question. A, make American people as healthy as they can so they can enjoy their lives to the end of their day and just drop dead, not wake up one day. Or B, keep them enslaved, keep them sick, and make trillions of dollars off them every year, so that the pockets of a few people can be that they can pile up the gold. A or B, what is it? There's probably a little gray area, but really either people want to help you get well and do well in life, or they're going to make profit by keeping you sick. And so, with that data in mind, knowing that the mind is a perfect machine and all you have to do is give it the correct data and it will come up with the perfect answer. If you don't give it good data, it's going to come up with a perfect answer, but it might put you in an asylum, or it might put you in a hospital, or it might put you in the early grave because, your decisions were based on dogma, which you didn't inspect to see how good it was. And perhaps you're going off of something that's a lie, or it's an maybe misleading information, like um, you know, blank blank bread builds strong bodies in 12 ways, right? That the breakfast of champion food is something that you should eat every day. Now we know it's sprayed with glyphosate, and that stuff breaks down the blood-brain barrier, it breaks down the cell walls, and it breaks down your immune system, and actually is causing, um, it's being responsible for various cancers, especially the Hodgkin's disease thing. So, it's time for you, I hope, to open your eyes, make a decision. Today's a new day. Draw a line in the sand and go, today I'm taking my life back. Today I'm going to do something for me, and that's going to be X, Y, or Z. You have three different areas to improve. One is your physical body, your nervous system, your muscles, and your exercise. Now, part of that, all of your organs have to do with your body's ability to perceive, or your brain's ability to perceive how they're working and dictate what they should do to get better. Your body wants to be working at 100%, every single cell, every single organ. When cells get old, the body kills them. It's called autophagy, autophagy. Phagy means to eat, and auto means self. So your body eats up the bad, weak cells. Some cells have what's called programmed cell death, apoptosis. In other words, a cell is supposed to last for 500 miles. At the end of 500 miles, it dies. Now, in a messed up system, all of those communications aren't working and the odometer isn't working. So those cells live forever, but they become senile cells. They no longer do any good. They now are causing your body to waste energy on them, and they're probably like a rotten apple ruining all the other apples in the dish. So, there's ways to actually improve that. You can read my book, Turn Back Your Biological Clock, get it on Amazon, and that will go over that pretty well for you. And, I hope you do get it. Get on there and buy it and read it. Because if you have the information, which is in the book, you read the information, which is put in lay terms so you can understand it. Now you have the information and you know the information. Now, if you use the information, I was saying earlier, you can't be the effect of that subject. So if you learn about your health, how the body stays healthy, what you can do about it, and then do it, you're going to develop a stronger body. You're going to learn how to every day make choices that are going to put you higher than lower on the survival spectrum. And I hope this you can do that all by yourself. You don't need me or another healthcare person for you to, get the book and read it and go, you know what, I'm going to not buy this in the store anymore. I'm only going to get, if I buy any grains, they're coming from Italy, not from the United States, because they're all altered and they're all sprayed with glyphosate. They're going to cause leaky gut syndrome. Leaky gut's going to cause toxins to get into my bloodstream. Those toxins in my bloodstream are going to pollute the cell wall and get through the leaky brain barrier called the blood-brain barrier and give me brain fog and ultimately Alzheimer's disease. I ain't eating it. I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to only eat the good stuff. Then I'm going to fix my leaky gut. I'm going to start to look online and find out what the good probiotics are, or look in my book. There's some really good ways, but you have to understand what leaky gut is and what caused it so that you can fix it. It's a pretty simple thing. Your gut is a single cell thick, which is microns. And when food goes through your intestines, being broke down by the bugs in your gut, it's supposed to deliver it through the cell junctions into your bloodstream. Then your bloodstream distributes it like a food delivery service, whatever those things are called. And to each cell. Each cell wants has a different thing that it wants. It's going to order something different. And then that delivery service, where it comes in a bag and they knock on the door if they haven't eaten half of it and it's not cold, it's going to be, what you ordered. So every single one of those 75 trillion cells has different needs and demands. If you're not consuming what's needed, it's going to get it anyway. If you're not consuming the amino acids, fatty acids that your body needs, or the vitamins and minerals, don't think it's not going to get it. It's going to eat up your own body to get it. It's going to eat up your own muscle, and it's going to eat up your fat cells. It's going to eat up your organs to use the content of that to survive. Because all it cares about is surviving in this second. It's not thinking about the long haul. That's why when you get a craving and you get that serotonin rush, it was, ooh, I got to have a pizza, I got to have some popcorn, I got to have a candy bar. And then you eat it and you go, oh, that was so good. And maybe not. You go, darn, I ate that again. I shouldn't have. So anyway, what a day. What a beautiful day we're in. One thing that spurred this for me is these long days lead to a longing for life. It's like, wow, it's like a nice warm evening and I can smell the ocean and I think about trips that I've taken in the past or ones that I might want to take again. And it fills me with joy that there are things to do. And this world is joy or this world is hell. You choose. What makes this world joy for one and hell for another is a decision. Now, it has to be a decision backed by action. If you've been making it a hell long enough, it's still going to be a hell. If you're addicted to drugs or alcohol or various um, mental things, it's not easy to break them. You have to have a cause bigger than your addiction to get over that. And that's really tough. I know when I was addicted to really bad drugs back in the 80s, when I was 27 years old and almost died of an OD, I had things that owned me and I woke up looking for them and I went to bed because of them. And every day was the same. And my survival was to get high. And at the end of the day, I'd pass out and then I'd wake up and do it again. And that's all that was on my mind. It took an act of God and my sister and a lot of friends for me to, and almost dying, almost ODing, feel my heart stop, that made me make a decision. And unfortunately, as much as I can talk to you about this, nobody can make the decision for you but you. And unfortunately, sometimes it's going to take a devastating, dramatic incident to occur before you make that decision. And if I could snap my fingers and make that not happen for you, I'd be very cool and very happy. But I think that for the most of us out there, including me, those decisions come hard earned. And but I would say look at the people you hang out with. There's I think it was a Franklin guy from the Covey group that said, you will be like the people you hang out with in the books you read. In 5 years, you're going to be like those people that you hang out with in the books that you read. So if you hang out with hoodlums and you don't read any books, you're going to be a hoodlum in 5 years. Guess what? I went to a chiropractic school and hung out with chiropractic students and read health books, and 5 years later, I became a chiropractor. That's pretty cool. So it wasn't easy. It was a decision every day. I had to decide again that I was going to put in the hard work studying. I hated studying. I was a terrible student. But I made the mind. And oftentimes there was a gentleman that approached me in the parking lot up here a few days ago when I was going into the Orchard Supply store. And he was asking me if I had any spare money. He goes, I don't, you look like a working man. I need some money. And, sometimes I give him some money, sometimes I don't. But the way he asked me, I said, you know what? You're right. I am working right now. And I owe more money than I have, so can't help you. But I thought, wow, he made decisions. His decisions got him to where he is today. All of us make decisions 50, 20, 35 years ago that put us where we are exactly today. And then we're the victim of our circumstances. We're a victim of those decisions we made. Well, make a new decision because 5 years from now, you'll be the prodigy of the decision you made today or the victim that you keep fueling and pouring fuel on 5 years ago, 10, 20, 30 years ago. How many times did Thomas Edison try to make a light bulb? 10,000 times, right? This is like, oh yeah, sure, Thomas Edison story again. If he didn't try it 10,000 times, we'd be in the dark and maybe somebody else would have invented it. But why not you? What makes it so that you can't do something in your life right now to change the life the way you like it? Now, maybe you're exactly where you should be. You're happy as a clam, sitting there looking out at the water on your porch, listening to the radio, sipping a cocktail martini or a juice, going, man, I made it. This is cool. I'm exactly where I wanted to be at this point in my life, and I don't have to do a darn thing. It's all on automatic. And maybe you are sitting in a one-room hotel listening to a radio going, I don't think I can pay this hotel rent. I don't have any food. I'm going to go out and see if I can find some somewhere, but I'm happy. If you're happy, you're happy. And if that's your goals, that's your goals. But you know what? I was told a long time ago to shoot for the stars and fall back on the moon. Always shoot to outreach your possibilities or your imagination. Shoot beyond your imagination and fall back on the moon because, it's okay. It might take you, it took me 12 years of my sister trying to get me to stop taking drugs, probably more like 18 years to go do something with my life. She never gave up on me. I was terrible to her. I I was civil, but watching her younger brother mind just shrivel up and his life become one of a drug addict and my existence being what it was, she never gave up. And for 12 years she would call me periodically and go, hey, what do you want to do? When are you going to do something about this? When are you going to do something about this? And then she finally moved down here for about a year and a half when I was so bad I could have OD'd, and that's all, and I almost did. And she was there, and she said, "Okay, you're ready to change?" I go, "Yeah. If I don't change, I'm going to die." So she helped me. That was when I was 27, however many years ago that was. I'm thankful that she cared enough to make that happen, and I hope there's somebody in your life to help you with that because sometimes that decision is hard to make. I couldn't read. I was addicted to drugs and alcohol. And I was doing something that hurt my already broken back, and I was living in chronic, constant pain. So I was doing a physical activity, working. So finally, things changed somehow. I had to make that decision. And if this is a health problem that you have and you're on a medication that the doctor said you're going to have to be on the rest of your life, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Stop taking it because of me. But get yourself informed because right now you're the effect of taking that drug and or whatever it is in your life, that lifestyle, that job, that person you hang out with, you're the effect of them. Why don't you try to look outside your zone of influence for a minute? I remember when I was just trying to get out of the drug scene, I had a globe that was my grandfather. He was born in 1883 and died in 1972. Um, no, 1978. He was 97 years old, sharp as a tack. And he gave me his globe or left it for me. And I remember one day being stoned out of my brain in my home. I looked at that globe and I pulled it down and I go, "Where's Aptos?" There it is. Okay. Where's my house? There it is. Then I went, wow, well, where's Santa Cruz? Hmm. Where's the Monterey Bay? Where is California? Where's the United States? Where's the oceans? Where's the world? And I exteriorized myself out of my problem, and I was looking at this whole world, and I realized the world was my oyster at that time. I just had to go through the steps necessary to make the changes to get me where I am today. I'm just who I am today. I'm no more successful than anybody else except for in my own mind. I'm happy. I've got a great practice. I've written 7 books. I play 4 instruments, 3 instruments. I sing. I enjoy music for myself. I've got a great relationship that I'm in. My kids are doing well. And that's how I look at it. I've got so much gratitude for those things that have gone right in my life. And believe me, it's something that I had to make go right in my life. It didn't just fall in my lap. It was hard fought. So I've got my bottle of gratitude right here, 100% vitamin G for those of you maybe watching this on Facebook or going to be watching this YouTube thing later. 100% gratitude. And I'm going to read it yet again because we all need to remember how do you use gratitude? 100% pure gratitude. And by the way, it says right on the label, don't keep out of reach of children. Boy, do our kids need to understand how lucky they are. Um, there are directions or instructions that says take bottle in hand every morning and think of 10 things you're grateful for. Well, sometimes I have a hard time finding 10. Might be one. I woke up, I got out of bed and something didn't hurt. There's enough whipping cream in the refrigerator for my coffee. Then express gratitude to the first 10 people you meet. Now, that's pretty hard sometimes. Maybe you just got to show gratitude to your cat or your dog or your parakeet or your goldfish. But when you go out, try to be grateful and look who is in your environment that you can be grateful for. And then repeat that often. The more you do it, the more serotonin and dopamine that's going to be released into your brain, the more oxytocin, and you're going to actually start to feel worth something. You're going to have made an effect on somebody that's going to change them for the day or their life. Again, you never know how far-reaching a small act of kindness might go. So splurge on being grateful. I don't know if I can read all this. My glasses aren't strong enough today, but I'm going to try. Maybe it's better on here. Yeah, this is bigger. Nutritional value of vitamin G. Vitamin G may reduce brain fog, increase hormone optimization, balance the autonomic nervous system by upregulating the parasympathetic, which is the rest and digest nervous system, reducing stress and increasing and reducing cellular inflammation. So your autonomic nervous system, parasympathetic, is going to help reduce stress by upregulating hormonal function and increase cellular or decrease cellular inflammation. Thus, this is going to improve cellular function and increase mental clarity. It's going to increase focus and productivity, optimizing mitochondrial energy. I talked about the mitochondria earlier. Mitochondria is the power plant of the cell or the carburetor in your car. You have 75 trillion internal combustion engines all working together, and every one of those has millions of mitochondria in them, and they all need fuel to function. If your car doesn't have fuel, it won't run. If your cells don't have fuel, it won't run. If your cars have bad gas, it won't run. If your cells have bad fuel, bad food, toxic stuff, it won't run well. Eventually, it will kill you, just like your car will die. So we want to do everything we can to make sure we have the best mitochondria we can have. Increase the body's production of serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin. I already mentioned that, which will increase your happiness. It will improve your sleep. And this is the most important part about vitamin G. If you take vitamin G on a regular basis, it will improve your likability. It will improve your likability. Look around and see how likable you are. Maybe you're the greatest person in the world, and I hope you are. I'm sure you are. Vitamin G has also been shown to unleash your own innate intelligence. Wow, vitamin G unleashes your innate intelligence. That's you. It unleashes you. By being grateful, you're not putting your attention on all the junks that's going on. You're just full of hormones and full of optimization. Then you can achieve anything you want in the world by practicing pure gratitude. Pretty easy, cheap. In fact, it's free. And you can come get bottles of this with all these instructions for free at my office. Just stop by and tell the front desk, can I have some gratitude, please? It happens. People come by. Not enough, but they do. If you're ever over in the shopping mall over there, we're Brown Ranch, we're right next to FedEx in the bunt cake place. Just come on over and ask for a bottle of vitamin G. We got them right there. No questions asked. Vitamin G has also been shown to unleash your own innate intelligence, allowing the greatest physician who ever lived to work its miracles so that your body can heal. So that's the beauty of vitamin G. And by the way, there are a lot of side effects to this, and all of the side effects are everything I said above. Just like every drug, the side effects are the direct effects. Gratitude's direct effects are everything that's going to make your life better. Now, I do have just a couple minutes left, so I am going to say a disclaimer that this vitamin G has zero sugar, zero fat, zero protein, zero calories, but 100% gratitude. It's BPA free, naturally sourced, environmentally sustainable. It's animal tested because animals love it, gluten free, non GMO, organic ingredients, shade grown, harvested by hand, no forever chemicals, and packaged with love. So that's gratitude. Come get a bottle, come get a few. I had one teacher ask for 51 bottles for all of her teachers, and she put them in all their little cubbies. Please give me a call, tell me what you want, and I'll get it for you. Might take a bit to get out many, but we'll do it. Now, the last thing I want to say here is there is a warning, like on everything, you got a warning label. It says, warning, this product, which is vitamin G, 100% gratitude, this product has not been tested or approved by the FDA, the CDC, NIH, FBI, CIA, or World Health Organization. So use gratitude at your own risk. But I believe it will probably turn out to be the best thing you've ever had. Thank you very much. And you guys have a great day. And remember, I'm hooked on you. Yes, I'm on my way.